Alright, fight fans, it's time for us to go over Israel Adesanya's victory over Alex Pereira at the just concluded UFC 287. Alright, so here we go. It comes out with that high energy, he's jumping, is just full of life. Just look at that energy, Alex Pereira, he comes in mean, cold, no smiles, no visible emotions. He's just coming in like a killer. I also want to quickly jump to this part of the fight where Bruce Buffer makes the announcement and Izzy's just there, pacing on his corner of the ring and staring Alex Pereira down with this cold, mean look. Like, come on, look at that again. Izzy's a master of mind games, and I know that's what he's doing right there. This is the stare downs, and these guys, a lot of bad blood between them. No glove touch. They just want to get into the fight. So we have this initial filling out process, getting reads and all that. Feints, and the first kick from Alex Pereira, that first leg kick, that's just a foreshadowing of what the rest of the fight will be for him offensively. Look at that. Alex opens with that leg kick. Izzy tries to fire one back, but he's unsuccessful with it. Izzy shoots for a jab. After that, it doesn't land. Feint, goes for the leg kick, which is also one weapon that really works for Izzy for the entirety of this fight. Pereira goes for another leg kick, like we said. Attempted body kick doesn't land. Izzy goes for the jab, which, for the rest of this fight, this is what we basically watch for the rest of the fight. It's Izzy going to the top, Pereira going to the legs. He tries another leg kick, Izzy evades, and another leg kick, Izzy evades. So one thing you notice in this fight is typically Alex Pereira likes to be the big guy. He likes to be the one pushing you backwards. But this is one thing Adesanya does not allow in this fight. So he tries to back him up here. If you look at that, he tries to back him up here, but Adesanya doesn't let him get in towards the ring. He fires back just to create that space, just control the range, and then Pereira gets that leg kick again. Unlike the previous fight in the UFC where Adesanya allowed Pereira back him up to the cage a couple of times, where he allowed him be the big guy, the dominating guy in the room. In this fight, Adesanya stood in the center of the ring with him for a large part of the fight. He wasn't going to let him just walk over him like that this time around. Also gets a leg kick there, you see, fighting for the center of the ring. So Pereira isn't backing him up as much as he was in the previous fight. Look at that. It goes center of the ring. This is where a lot of the fight actually happens, and this is something that really works well for Adesanya. At this point, if you look at it now, it seems like Adesanya is even the one backing Pereira up for a large part of the fight now, and this is one of the things that really works for Adesanya. He's on the offensive, like he said for the fight promo. He said the hunter is now being hunted, and this is what Adesanya is doing to Pereira right here. He is hunting him. It seems like Pereira is backing him up here, and Adesanya circles, and look, he's back to the center of the ring. Look at that. He's aware of what's happening. Adesanya is aware of what's happening. Look at him. He goes back, realizes he's close to the ring, and aware of the imminent danger that causes. Look at that. He goes left, right, and he goes back to the center of the ring. So if you watch it, Pereira hasn't really gotten any serious offense going because Adesanya isn't letting him. By being offensive, by standing in the center of the ring, by not allowing him back him up. Center of the ring, like I said, just leg kicks for Pereira for the bulk of the fight, just leg kicks, and Adesanya backs him up again. The constant theme of this fight for this first round has just been Adesanya standing his ground at the center of the ring, being the big man, being the one backing Pereira up, not allowing Pereira settle in the fight and get into offensive mode. Pereira is just going for the leg kicks, trying to chop that leg, trying to chop the leg, and Adesanya still holding his own at the center of the ring. If you watch here, Pereira is really trying to back him up, be the dominant man, but Izzy isn't allowing him to do that. Izzy is throwing the offense. This is a couple of moments ago. Pereira is trying to back Adesanya up to the cage. Izzy is going towards the cage, but he's aware of the danger. Now he shoots, and we are back at the center of the ring. Adesanya changes stance, goes 1, 2. Pereira evades, he goes for a kick. Look at that. Now, who is backing up who? A couple of moments ago, Adesanya was the one going towards the ring, but he starts throwing offenses. First, he gets to the center of the ring, and now, look, he's the one backing Pereira up. Look at that. He's the one backing Pereira up here. Just look at that. It's just good work from Adesanya all the way through this point of the fight, right? Back to the center of the ring. Now, if you look at the fight up onto this point, you notice Adesanya hasn't been backed up on the ring for he gets towards the ring, but immediately he circles out or he fires some offenses and gets himself back to the center of the ring. Brilliant strategy from Adesanya for this fight. Now, watch this. Look at that. He's backing him up, but Izzy is circling out, making sure his back doesn't get to the fence. Look at that. Before he gets to the fence, Izzy throws an offense just to get himself back into that dominant position, get himself back to the center of the ring. Now, look at this. Because of how well Izzy has, done with, just escaping getting backed up to the ring, circling out, throwing offenses, even though Pereira gets into a position where he is very close to getting Adesanya into that point where he can, just go into him and let go of his hands. The fact that Izzy had always fired back for the entirety of the fight, the fact that Izzy had always circled out made Pereira hesitate at this point, and because normally he should have just gone all crazy, at this point he should have just gone all crazy and started raining punches, started raining everything on Adesanya, but then he hesitates and gives Adesanya room to fire that leg kick, and Adesanya fires the leg kick, and once again we are back at the center of the octagon. The bell goes for the end of the first round. Yeah, let's jump right back into the action. Bell rings and the two of them jump right into action. Izzy on the offensive once again. Remember, I keep saying it, that is what marks this fight for Izzy, on the offensive. Normally we know Izzy to be, ever since he became champion, he was just always being evasive, not wanting to get punched, not wanting to get hurt. But in this fight, he comes all out because he knows this is how he has to beat Pereira. And then once again we are right here, and you see the fight is still happening at the center of the ring, and Pereira is struggling to get any offense going. As long as the fight was at the center of the ring, as long as Izzy was the one pushing him back, Pereira was struggling to get any offense going. Look at this sequence. Body kick, Pereira responds with a question mark kick, jumps forward, now he's on the offensive. Look at him. He has backed Adesanya up here. Adesanya is literally with his back against the ring, and look at what Pereira does. He lets go. Boom, 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 boom. Like I said, as long as Adesanya's back wasn't against the cage, Pereira could not get any offense going. Look at that now. Boom, 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 boom. Then Adesanya does the smart thing. He's circling. Now, look at this. This was a similar position to where the last fight ended. This was a similar position. Adesanya is back against the ring. As he was trying to circle out, he stumbles and the ref decides to end the fight. But here, what Adesanya does is he keeps his stance. Look at that. He keeps his stance so that he can throw. And he throws one. They get into an exchange. Both of them get hit. Adesanya goes, keeps his stance, gets hit with the body kick. And look at that. We're back to the center of the ring. So once again, all that's left for Pereira is just to throw those leg kicks, which of course are damaging. Those leg kicks are damaging, and if you see Adesanya, once he gets hit by those leg kicks, he's quick to change his stance because he was really getting damaged. Look at this. Here we go again. Pereira successfully backed Adesanya up to the cage. Adesanya's back is up to the cage, and look at Pereira go here. Adesanya tries to throw the offense, but Pereira just clogs him up, and now let's go back to this punch. Remember this punch? Look at that. 1, 2. But then, because there's still a bit of distance between them, Pereira reads that and is able to clog up Adesanya such that the punch doesn't land, is ineffective. But he continues to put the pressure on Adesanya. Look at that. He's really keeping him close to the back of the ring. And then once again, Adesanya throws this same punch, 1, this same combo 2. But Pereira is still keeping the pressure on him real good. He's backing him up real good here. Adesanya goes body shots, bang, bang. back to the center of the ring. Now, look at this punch once again. 1, 2. But because they're in the open, Pereira gets the read, he can evade, he can defend the punch there. And now when you look at it, we are nearing the end of the second round here, and you notice Pereira is now finally getting to impose himself in the fight. He's finally getting to be the big man in the fight. He's finally getting to push Adesanya back towards the ring. Adesanya throws an offense here, but Pereira doesn't allow that, back him up. He stands there with him, bangs, further pushes Adesanya back. And of course Adesanya escapes, but then Pereira is heavy on him. Now this is an important part of the fight. So for the fact that Pereira had started getting success with pushing Adesanya back, Adesanya does a very smart technique here. And if you're a fighting fan, you remember this technique from Muhammad Ali, Rumble in the Jungle. It's called the rope a-dope. That's where you go to the cage, pretend like your opponent has gotten a serious advantage over you, and then you let your opponent start to unload. Here's the thing, when an opponent starts to unload, their guard is really down. So if you're confident in your ability to pick your shots, which Izzy is really confident in, this is a very smart technique you can use. Because once again, this is a similar position to the end of the last fight, where he was just raining punches on Adesanya. So right here, this is the first time Adesanya covers up, and this makes Pereira confidence, like, okay, I'm outing this guy now. I'm close to getting a finish similar to what I did in the first fight. Of course, Adesanya circles out from here. Adesanya circles out from this particular one, but then Adesanya covers up. Look at that. No guard from Pereira. He's just trying to get the finish like he did in the first fight. Bang, 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 bang. And out of nowhere, boom, he goes 1, 2. That's the combination Adesanya had been throwing all along in the fight. Left, right, 1, 2. But why the combination wasn't effective all along was because they had been fighting at the center of the octagon. So it was easy for Pereira to get reads. It was easy for him to see these things coming and try to evade them. But then in the pocket right here, his guard is down. Very hard to get reads at this point, particularly for an opponent that you think you're about to knock out. And then, they say power kills but speed kills, and that was what worked for Adesanya here. The quickness of his punch, out of nowhere, he just go boom, and he follows it up, boom, boom, and there you go. Honestly, I'm going to say I miss this Adesanya, that knocked fighters out. I miss this Adesanya that fought against Bronson, against Costa, against Whittaker. Now, this is the same punch sequence that almost ended the fight in the first round in their first encounter in the UFC. Adesanya could have just needed probably 3 more seconds like he did here, and he would have ended the fight. Just left, right, and boom, wobbles him, sends him to the ground, and hammer fist from the gods. Look at the quickness of that. He sees left, 1, 2, knocks him out. Look at Pereira's eyes there. His eyes are gone, his legs wobbled. He tries to get up. Adesanya doesn't give him room. He follows him up immediately. Look at that, the shots left, boom, boom. I'm sure he knew this was what he needed to do. I'm sure it was obvious to him, but then it was just getting in the right position. And unlike the previous fights where he had both legs back of the ring and he wasn't in a good place to throw back a punch, look at Adesanya's legs here. He keeps his stance. He keeps his stance for a punch. In this place, he was primed to get. So I'm just saying this to say Adesanya knew what he was doing here. He played dead to draw Pereira in and to look for this one opening, and bang! That's how you do it. That's how you do it. And he doesn't give him time to breathe. Once the first punch lands, as Pereira tries to come back up, it goes bang, bang, and he's dead. He's cold. Look at that. Look at his eyes. He's gone. Look at his head bouncing off the mat. He's gone. Like I said, props to Muhammad Ali, It's crazy that after he gets his belt wrapped around his waist, similar to how Muhammad Ali took the mic after the Rumble in the Jungle and gave that phenomenal speech, Adesanya does the similar thing, gets the mic from Joe Rogan and gives this very touching speech about being happy, going for what you want. There you go. There you have it. This, in my opinions, are how Adesanya was able to get the W against Pereira and finally redeem himself after 3 attempts after 3 defeats, after 7 years of pain, loss, and agony. So what are your thoughts? What are other things you think Adesanya did in this fight that helped him to get victory over Pereira? Please do let me know in the comment section.